in a tranquil forest where the sound of gentle wind and birds can be heard. The Buddha and his disciple were sitting peacefully. "Master, I have one question that I'm curious about." The Buddha looked at his disciple with a calm smile. "What troubles your heart?" "Master, why do people try to hold on to past connections and suffer while waiting for connections that do not come?" The Buddha held a fallen leaf in his hand and said, "Look at this leaf. As autumn comes, the leaves fall from the tree. The tree does not try to hold on to the departing leaves, but naturally accepts their departure. Isn't a person's connection similar to this? However, it is so difficult to accept the departure of my teacher's connection. What should I do to escape from this pain?" The Buddha looked at his disciple with deep eyes and quietly answered, "That is the nature of time and relationships. Every connection has its time. Do not try to force it. Let it flow naturally when the time comes." People encounter countless connections as they go through life. Some connections pass by briefly, while others stay by our side for a long time. However, every connection has its own timing. If you try to hold on forcefully, scars will remain, and if you try to cut off forcefully, only pain will remain. "Master, why do people try to hold on to connections that are leaving and anxiously wait for connections that do not come?" The Buddha smiled for a moment and pointed to a small flower bud hanging from a branch. "Look at this flower. This flower blooms when the time is right and withers on its own. When the time comes, will you try to force this bud to bloom? No, Master. The flower can only bloom when its time has come." Indeed, human relationships are like this flower. They cannot be forced to bloom, nor can they be held onto by force. Just as flowers wait for their time to bloom, so too must connections wait for their own time. "Then, Master, what should I do if the connection I am waiting for does not come?" If you become obsessed with waiting, your heart will only suffer. The river flows while finding its path, and the wind decides where to stop on its own. Relationships come and go in this natural flow. So how should we accept the relationships that have left? If I try to hold on to a relationship that has left, all that remains in my hands are wounds. The place where a connection has left is not an empty space, but a place for new connections to come. The Buddha held up a fallen leaf that had quietly landed on his palm. "Look at this leaf. The tree does not lament the falling of its leaves because it knows that new leaves will come. Human connections are the same. If a relationship has ended, a new one is bound to come along. Then how should I live my life? Live fully in the present moment. Do not worry about relationships that have not yet come, and do not cling to those that have left. Focus on the people around you and the tasks you need to accomplish now." "But Master, that is truly difficult." If you empty your mind, it becomes easier. Just let relationships flow like the river and pass like the wind. If I don't forcefully confine them, they will stay and leave. In the most beautiful way, the Buddha spoke quietly for the last time. "When the time comes, we will meet. And when the time comes, we will part. All I have to do is to welcome the connections with a grateful heart and to let them go with a peaceful mind." The forest was still quiet, and the wind gently rustled the leaves. As the Buddha said, all relationships are as natural as flowing water. Don't forcefully hold on, learn to let go. At such times, your heart will find true peace. "Master, why do I feel anxious and distressed every time I can't get what I want?" It is because there is attachment in your heart. The desire to hold on to what you want is what torments you. "But Master, if that is something so precious to me, how can I let it go? Look at this pebble that I am holding in my hand right now. If I hold this pebble too tightly, won't my palm start to hurt?" That's right. If you grip too tightly, your hand will hurt and it will actually take more effort. Indeed, our hearts are the same attachment. Hurts your heart and clouds your vision of the world. So how can we let go of our attachments? Everything comes and goes. According to fate, when the time is right, it will naturally approach. And when the time is right, it will naturally leave. If I hold on forcefully, only wounds will remain on my hands. So, should I just wait for fate? It is not about waiting. One should be faithful to the present moment. Relationships cannot be forced. When the time for a relationship comes, it will find its way to me. I see, Master. I should focus on the present moment and maintain a calm mind until the relationship approaches. Indeed, look at the flowing river. The river does not force its way forward. Just because its current is blocked, it simply flows and finds its way. Today, after listening to my teacher's words, my heart feels much lighter. Empty your mind and let go of your attachments. Then true, fateful encounters will come to me. Master, why do I feel anxious and restless every time I am short on money? I am afraid that money seems to control my life. Money is like water. If you try to grasp it, it slips through your fingers. And if you hold on to it too tightly, it will dry up quickly. It's not money itself that makes you anxious, but your obsession with money that torments you. But Master, isn't life difficult and happiness hard to achieve without money? It's like drinking too much. Water can be harmful to the body. Money is necessary, but it should not become the center of my heart. Money is a tool for life, not something that should become the goal. So, what should we do to let go of our obsession with money? Desire is endless, even if it seems enough today, tomorrow, we will want more. A heart that knows how to be satisfied is necessary. If you know how to be grateful for small things, bigger ones will naturally follow. However, people believe that having a lot of money will make them happier. Many people believe that having a golden bowl will bring happiness, but they end up anxious about protecting it, fearing it will be taken away, and losing sleep over it. True happiness comes from satisfaction with what I have and a peaceful mind. So are you saying that I should be grateful for what I have right now? Yes, if you have a heart that knows how to be satisfied and grateful for what you have, you will no longer be swayed by an obsession with money. Money is like flowing water. It will come to you naturally when you need it, and it will leave when you don't. But I think I will still be afraid. When money leaves, don't be afraid of money leaving. If there is money going out, there is also money coming in. That is the way of nature. And when you are not attached, money will come to you more freely. After listening to my teacher's words today, my heart feels much lighter. Money is just a tool needed to live life. For that, do not give up your peaceful mind and precious time. Let go of your obsession with money and live this moment with gratitude. Master, I am afraid that my relationship with my friend will drift apart. I feel anxious that my friend might leave me, and that thought keeps troubling my heart. There is an obsession for a friend settled in your heart. The connections between people are like a river, and they should be allowed to flow naturally. If you try to forcefully block a river, it will overflow even more. Recently, another student who was troubled by a friend issue came to ask the master, "Master, if my friend ignores me or keeps their distance, I think I will feel very lonely and sad." A friend is not your possession. A bond is formed when both hearts connect over time, and it deepens when both are free. If you forcibly hold on to that connection, it will only drift further away. So what should I do to feel free in my relationship with my friend? First, ask yourself, what do I want to gain from my relationship with this friend? I need to reflect on whether I want to be recognized through my friend or if I'm trying to fill my loneliness. Master, I hope my friend does not turn away from me and always stays by my side. That is what obsession is. If I truly care for my friend, I should genuinely wish for their happiness, regardless of whether they leave or stay by my side. That is true friendship. But Master, it seems very difficult to let go like that. It will be difficult at first. However, if I gradually let go of my heart, and instead of being tied to my friend, I simply respect and love their existence, my heart will feel much lighter. So it was because I tried to possess my friend that my heart was anxious and troubled. Indeed, human connections are like birds that sit on a tree and then fly away. The bird stays because the tree does not try to forcefully hold it, and when it leaves, it flies freely. Hearing my teacher's words today has made my heart feel a bit more at ease. Let go of your attachments. True friendship begins with respect, not possession. Open your heart and look at your friends. Then your connections will become deeper and more free. Master, when I love someone, I tend to become obsessed with that person. I am anxious that that person might leave my side, and the thought is tormenting my heart. Love is a beautiful emotion, but when it turns into obsession, it becomes suffering. Ask yourself whether your love is a pure affection for the other person or a desire for possession stemming from fear in your heart. However, losing someone you love is a very frightening and sad thing. It is natural to fear parting with someone you love. But if I let that fear trap me and refuse to let go of the other person, what will happen to that relationship? Ultimately, it will suffocate both of us. So what can I do to avoid becoming obsessed with the person I love? Love is like a flowing river. If you force it and are afraid, the water will become stagnant. When the other person is by my side, I should be grateful. And when they leave, I should sincerely wish for their happiness. A person's heart cannot be forcibly bound, and relationships cannot be maintained against one's will. When dealing with relationships, one should think simply, if someone likes me, I accept it with gratitude. And if someone leaves me, it's my fault. One should not think about it. Just because a mountain is beautiful, there isn't anyone who spends the whole day just looking at that mountain. When you go to the mountains, they are beautiful. But when you actually go to the wide and blue sea, it is human nature to admire that sea as well. The same goes for human relationships. It's not cool. Just because you've grown distant from someone, there's no need to question yourself or feel guilty about whether you've done something wrong. It's not that I did something wrong that made him hate me, nor is it that he is a bad person who betrayed me. It's just that the time for that person and me has passed. That person truly liked me during that time, but like everything else, their feelings just changed. There is no need to be overly concerned about human relationships fading away. Even those who seem like they will be with us forever will eventually leave, and that void is often filled by unexpected new connections. We often tend to overthink our relationships. No matter what kind they are, I excessively worry about whether that person likes or dislikes me. And if things become even a little distant, I blame myself and feel guilty. The person who is currently by my side is bound to leave someday, and unexpected connections can suddenly come to me with the changing times. By humbly accepting the changes in human relationships, wishing farewell to those who leave and greeting those who come, you can lighten your relationships significantly. Relationships are like rivers. There are times to stay and times to leave. Just as the river flows, we must let relationships flow as well. If you forcefully hold on, the water stagnates and eventually becomes rotten. Do not try to hold on to someone who has left instead. Accept the flow. Letting go of a departed connection is not abandoning that person, but rather a true way of loving them. Attachment is not love, it is fear, and fear will only poison your heart. Memories are not something that should be erased. Keep the memories of the departed connections carefully in one corner of your heart and use them as a warm light in your life. They will illuminate the path I will take. Do not dwell in the past. Live in this moment. My life is shaped not by the past, but by what is happening here and now. As long as you are bound by the past, you cannot encounter new happiness. Do not turn away from the wounds within you, gently caress them. First, love yourself and warmly embrace my heart. Only then will healing truly begin. There are countless connections in the world. Just because one connection has left does not mean that all connections have ended. A new connection will come when I let go and open my heart. Loneliness is not an emotion to be avoided, but an opportunity that makes you stronger. Do not be afraid of being alone. Use that time to reflect on your heart. In that process, you will become stronger and wiser. Letting go of past connections creates new space in my life. Leave that space open for new connections and new happiness. Your life belongs to you. The person who has left has only decorated a page of my life. They cannot write all of your stories. Now, write the next chapter of my life with your own hands. Bless the connections that have departed. Love yourself and live in this moment. If you do so, your heart will be at peace and your life will shine again. True love is respecting the freedom of the other person. So are you saying that in love, we must empty our hearts? Yes, love is about sharing what I have, not about possessing the other person. If that person is happy, then my heart should also be at peace with that fact. That is true love. But Master, it's so hard to let go like that. It's because I'm trying to fill my own emptiness through love. When I try to fill the emptiness inside me with another person, love turns into obsession. First, you must learn to love yourself and how to fill your heart. Hearing my teacher's words, I realized that perhaps I didn't love the other person, but rather relied on them to soothe my loneliness. Love is not dependence. True love shines when the fullness within me naturally flows to the other, just as a butterfly comes to a flower without the flower holding it. True love must allow each other to be free. After listening to my teacher's words today, my heart feels a little lighter. Love cannot be forced or held onto. When you respect your partner as they are and sincerely wish for their happiness, that love will become the most radiant flower. Meetings with people, meetings with work, and meetings with enlightenment all have their own timing. If the time is not right, no matter how hard you try, it won't happen. And when the time is ripe, no matter how much you try to avoid it, you will meet. Relationships are not forced. They naturally form and fade away when the time is right. Those who are meant to leave will inevitably do so, and trying to hold on will only leave scars on the heart. We must let departing relationships flow like a river. A river that is forcibly blocked will stagnate and rot. Relationships, too, must flow to become clear and natural. Meetings and partings are not something we can control as we wish. Every encounter comes to provide us with insights in our lives. Parting is merely a process to complete the tasks left for us. Don't try too hard. When the time comes, that person will be by your side. And when the time is right, No matter how much you hold on, they will leave. What matters is what you learn and what you leave behind in that encounter. When a relationship stays, accept it with gratitude. And when it departs, let it go without regret. That is the law of nature, and it is the path to peace of mind. Clinging to a departing relationship is because I have not yet realized what I need to learn from that relationship. The moment you gain enlightenment, attachment disappears and freedom comes. Treasure the connections given to you in this moment. The relationships that come enrich my life, while those that leave strengthen my heart. The essence of connection lies not in permanence, but in flow. The moment you try to force someone to stay, that connection turns into pain. Letting go of a departing relationship is also something for yourself. It's not about letting go of that person, but about freeing your own heart. Next, I would like to talk about the book by Master Beop-Jong. One day, Master Beop-Jong said, "A person's relationships are like flowers. Some flowers stay for a season and then leave, while others bloom again every year. What matters is to sincerely appreciate the moment when the flowers bloom and wither. There are such flowers in our lives as well. Some people illuminate a moment of my life and then leave. Some people stay by my side and watch over me for a long time. But every connection is precious in its own right. Don't forcefully hold on. Don't try to cling to relationships that are meant to leave. It's like trying to block a flowing river with your hands. When the river is blocked, it cannot flow and ends up stagnant and rotten." Buddhist monk Beop-Jong left these words behind. The most important thing in relationships with others is to let go of attachment. Don't try to forcefully pull someone in, and don't be afraid of letting them go. I just need to gratefully accept the meaning that connection has left me and let it go. Connections should be cherished while they last, and when they leave, they should be sent off with gratitude. That is the true meaning of a faithful connection. Our lives are the same. Don't blame those who have left or regret the time that has passed. Accept that all those moments were precious seeds that made me who I am today. The connections that have left are enough as they are. Don't suffer anymore. And now, let your heart be free. Buddhist Master Beop-Jong also said this: every relationship is precious. However, there is no eternal bond. A fateful connection comes and goes. With the times it departs when the time is right, and reunites when the time comes. Accepting the natural flow of connections is true wisdom. It means that all beings and relationships have their own time. Just like the flowing of a river and the blowing of the wind, connections should also flow naturally along that current. If you try to forcefully hold on, only wounds will remain in your hands, and your heart will be filled with anguish. Connections cannot be forcibly created or held onto, just as flowers bloom in spring and leaves fall in autumn. The connections between people also have a natural flow of their own. Some connections will stay by my side for a long time, while others will just brush past me briefly. However, every connection leaves you with some lesson and meaning before it departs. Do not waste the precious today by resenting the connections that leave or waiting for the ones that do not come. The connections that have left were enough, and the connections that have not come yet are simply not meant to be at this time. Be grateful for the connections that are currently by your side, and do your best in everything you can. When connections leave, let them go without regret. And when new connections come, welcome them warmly. By doing so, my heart will find peace, and connections will be able to freely linger around me. Those who understand the connections of the times will escape from suffering and attain true freedom and peace. Love, the person who is by your side right now. Treasure the connections of this moment, and I hope that when that connection leaves someday, I can send it off with gratitude and a peaceful heart, rather than with lingering attachment and regret. That is the life of someone who understands the connections of the times. Life is ultimately a deep conversation with oneself and a process of training. As we go through life, we constantly reflect on ourselves, sometimes falling and sometimes getting back up. If you live each day calmly with a positive mindset, free from the constraints of age, environment, and conditions, you will eventually encounter the most radiant version of yourself. I hope this short story leaves a little comfort and realization in your heart and makes your journey through life a bit lighter. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this story, please express your feelings with a subscription and a like, and share it with those around you. In the next broadcast, I will come to you with deeper and more enriching teachings of the Buddha. I sincerely hope that your life is always peaceful and happy.